J Moore, the very best reviews. Tell them none can contest, we gon'
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the show. Appreciate everybody for coming through. Got a few wild stories to talk about that's been going on this past week. The first one, kind of interesting considering this is a drug that's been out for a long time, but it kind of seemed that it was possibly dying down, but maybe it was doing that because a lot of people, they say cocaine had fentanyl in it, and people using cocaine would possibly dying from fentanyl overdose. So maybe that's why a lot of people maybe wasn't using cocaine lately. But because of the crackdown on fentanyl, cocaine is making a comeback, baby. Not that I'm happy because I need some, but I'm gonna go ahead and get into this story. What's good, Rashonda? How you doing, sis? Appreciate you for coming through. I was talking about Peacemaker, but I realized starting off where I was and a lot of other people maybe wasn't too familiar with it. So I figured, because I didn't get to go and talk about this yesterday, because a lot of stories I wanted to talk about yesterday was my birthday, and not that I had a whole lot going on and things, but I was kind of tired, and so I didn't end up going live. But anyway, so this first thing that I did want to talk about, which is crazy because it's kind of messed up in a way. You would think, by the way the current politics is going, that maybe these drugs, the war on drugs or something, would be possibly, or whether I should say the way that the current politics say things are going versus actuality. But you would think by what is being said that things would be getting better, but I guess it depends on who you are. But this guy, based on this article from the Independent, it says that cocaine is more popular than ever. This is the 80s and the 90s in the U.S., and the Mexican drug lord Trump has declared war on is cashing in. So he's declaring war on a Mexican drug lord, but somehow he's making more money than ever. It's a cocaine use is now more popular than ever in the U.S., with a major resurgence in recent years, which, that's just wild. It said it allowed the Mexican drug lords to largely be responsible for this boom to cash in. Consumption of coke in the Western U.S. has increased by 154% since 2019. So what, after COVID, everybody decided to get high? It said, according to data from drug testing company Millennium Health, in the same period, use is up 19% on the East Coast. Wow. At the same time, use of the deadly drug fentanyl has been declining ever since mid-2023. And it says the Trump administration vowed to crack down hard on cartels, even imposing harsh economic sanctions on Mexico to stymie the flow of fentanyl and other illicit products into the U.S. What if, I'm just thinking this out loud, but what if it's in the benefit of some people in power to get fentanyl off the streets because they had relationships, to say the least, with people in the coke business? And because fentanyl was in coke, I don't know them. I know a story of some people that they were comics or something, and they all died because they were doing coke and it had fentanyl and they didn't know. And this, so a lot of people probably were staying away from coke. So what if cocaine got lobbyists or connections? And what if they was like, you got to get the fentanyl out, man? We give you 50 million cash. And go to Mar-a-Lago. Just make sure you get the fentanyl out. You be the hero of your country. Your people wanted the coke anyway. They don't want the fentanyl. Help us. We help us help you. We don't like the cheap fentanyl dealers. Let it be only one supplier, me, the cartel. Then you can talk to me if there's any problems with the supply chain. I can then make sure the product is correct, Holmes. That would be kind of interesting, wouldn't it? Anyway, it says, after all this crackdown, it looked like the cartels might be doing better than ever. They're like, we need help with the supply chain. Hey, Trump, help us. Help us clean up the product, man. It said a main target has been the Jalisco's New Generation Cartel, CJNG, led by Nemesio Ruben El Mencho Osoguera Cervantes, which is believed to have the highest cocaine, heroin, and meth trafficking capacity in Mexico. Wow. These cartels are not ragtag organizations. I actually saw some video of some of the stuff they got going on. I saw it on YouTube. They got military equipment. They got bulletproof. They got uniforms. They get weekly paychecks. The people that work for the cartel, the guards, like this is like a company. It says sources familiar with the operations told the Wall Street Journal that records amount of cocaine are currently being produced in Colombia, driving the volume in the U.S. up and the price down. Morgan Godwin, a researcher with the community organization Drug Checking Los Angeles, told the outlet that pure cocaine prices have plummeted to an average of $60 to $75 a gram, a decrease of around half compared with 5 years ago. Wow. Pure cocaine, $60 a gram? Wow. Oseguera Cervantes and 4 other cartel leaders have also been hit with U.S. sanctions, with a $15 million reward on offer from the U.S. government for information leading to their capture. Huh. Look at this dude got a bazooka. Cervantes, who has been indicted several times in the U.S. since 2017, appears largely untouchable, rarely leaving his hideout in the Sierra Madre mountain range in Mexico, where he is guarded by soldiers equipped with RPG-7 heat-seeking, shoulder-fired rocket launchers. Like I said, man, cartels ain't broke. This is one of the cartels. Look, bulletproof. They in fatigues. They got a Jeep Grand Cherokee. God, man, hey, cartel is a big army. Even calling it a cartel is not giving it its justice. I'm thinking of a cartel as 5 or 6 dudes or something. Oseguera Cervantes, who has been indicted several times in the U.S. since 2017, still largely untouchable, says sources close to the operations told the outlet those visiting the compound are hooded for the 6-hour car journey through the area, which is dotted with landmines. Armed guards protecting Oseguera are reportedly equipped with the RPGs, and it said they can pierce the armor of a tank. Oh my goodness. You really do have to go to war with the cartels. You really would have to go to war because the police can't really handle this. The police don't have RPGs and all of that armor and things. They ain't ready for that. It says Cervantes benefited in recent years from America's focus on the fentanyl epidemic and the resulting capture of El Chapo in 2016, which created a power vacuum in the rival Sinaloa cartel. It said Donald Trump's intense campaign to arrest and deport migrants from the U.S. has taken multiple federal agents away from drug trafficking enforcement operations. Man, so we getting illegals out, but those agents, they no longer tracking drugs. So whenever they do go back to work, they're going to be starting fresh. They don't even know what's going on. You want to try to catch up? Too late. We're gone. Bye-bye. Anyway. Crazy, man. Crazy. I'm glad I don't use none of this stuff. But I guess if I did use Coke, I'd probably be happy because I guess it's getting cheaper and cleaner. So I guess the Trump administration did one thing. They got cocaine cheap and clean again, huh? Cocaine is safe. It's safe now. You can do the blow. You can get high on good supply. You don't have to worry. Anyway, we see also another story just dropped. Bank of America. I don't know how many people use Bank of America. I actually use Bank of America, but I don't work there. But they say now Bank of America will be raising the minimum wage for their workers to $25 an hour, which that's something they should have did a long time ago. How could you say you work at a bank and you make what, $10 an hour? And one thing that I didn't realize, but this is something that's been going on a long time in banks, is that a majority of the bankers don't get paid a lot. And up until probably the 90s to the 2000s, maybe, or a little after the 2000s, banking jobs didn't make a lot of money at all. But they notoriously pay majority of people low wages. I didn't think bank tellers got paid such low wages. Why would you pay people such low wages to work around money? I'm surprised more things don't happen in that position. But it was this movie with Courtney B. Vance based on the true story of how these people were going to rob this bank in Chicago, but they were doing it with like bank transfers or whatever. Anyway, I think it's called like Heist 57 or something like that. It's a real good movie. This dude snitch and get them all messed up. I can't stand that dude. Anyway, they almost got away with it. But dude was like, because this was in the 80s. And so these people that was working there at the bank, like tellers or whatever, one of them was like, man, I make like $4.50 an hour or $5.50 an hour. You damn right I'm in on it. Like what? They were paying him literally minimum wage, and he was handling like hundreds of millions of dollars in transactions for this bank, and they would pay you $4.50 an hour. I wouldn't even feel safe with a minimum wage person handling that much money in transactions. Anyway, it's good that these banks and these companies are starting to finally pay they share. It's said that like places like Walmart, for example, they pretty much able to keep their pay so low because majority of their employees get some type of government subsidy, whether it's food stamps or health care, whatever the case. And not to diss the people getting the services, but they got a job at Walmart, so they shouldn't need services. Walmart, one of the biggest companies in the world, pay your people more money. I remember back in the day, if you worked at one of the biggest companies in the world, you used to be balling. You worked for GM, you worked for Ford. Those were two of the biggest companies in the world. I think GM in the 80s was the biggest company in the world. GM. These companies, they used to take care of their people, but then once they shipped everything overseas, products got cheaper, but more cheaper in quality, more expensive in price. Anyway, anyway, nobody won't be bothered with that. All right, the next little story I thought was kind of wild, but it just go to show, and this is something I learned after being injured myself, that you never know how life goes. I wish I would have kind of really appreciated and took everything in before, but we got Usain Bolt, which, you know, most of us remember as the fastest man in the world from Jamaica. Well, Usain Bolt, he had blown out his Achilles and he can no longer run and he can't even walk up the stairs without being out of breath, which is crazy because most of us, you think of Usain Bolt, you think of the fastest man in the world, in shape, doing all these things, and then just like that, it can be taken from you. So I'm going to get too deep in this story because it isn't a permanent situation. He's recovering, and if you ruin, you know, your Achilles, you can't really run or do much. And while you're recovering, I'm pretty sure he's not used to probably the sedentary lifestyle he's been living after being injured. And so he's probably getting tired or gained weight and all that stuff. But in the end, once he's healed, he can recover and be back to how he used to be. Maybe never the fastest world record holder, but he had already retired from that already anyway. So anyway, he's blessed because he can make a full recovery. It may take time, it may be hard, but now he got a new outlook on life. It's almost like what movie Saw. How they torture you and then you come out of it, you be like, I got a new outlook on life. Jersey Knots, what's good? You say, where is it coming from? Where's what coming from? The cocaine? The cocaine, where the cocaine coming from, man? It's coming from, it's according to that article I read earlier, coming from Mexican cartels. Thanks to this administration, the quality is getting better and the prices are coming down. We're making so many deals. Prices are coming down. Place to vent. What's good with you? What up? How you feeling? What's good? Let's see what else we had up in here. Damn, Usain Bolt. What else did I have? Let me see. Get to something interesting. This is pretty funny, I thought. So these people are crazy, in my opinion. Anyway, this dude, we all know January 6th, the day shall live in infamy. Anyway, January 6th, when people stormed the Capitol and whatever, you know, took place, unfortunate. But what's interesting about this story is that one of the people that was, you know, doing these things on January 6th ended up going to prison. But what happened is he said that he got wrongfully injected and he was pardoned, but says he slowly became a woman when he was in prison. And he said the doctors are to blame. They injected him slowly and made him become a woman. Nah, dude, you just had too much fun in prison. That's all. Don't blame the doctors. Don't blame the doctors. Don't be trying to act like you hard now when your boo thing said you used to wear Kool-Aid lipstick in prison and you talking about, no, the doctors did that. They made me a woman in prison. It says this dude, a convicted January 6th rioter, now pardoned by Trump, has filed a federal lawsuit against the United States claiming that the prison doctors wrongfully injected him with female hormones that cause his body to change against his will. See, this is what happens when you have too many conspiracy theories. Like, conspiracy theories are not bad because people do conspire to do things. And if you have a theory about it, but you're not able to prove it, okay. But when you become a conspiracy theorist and every single thing is a conspiracy, anybody gets shot or hurt or everything is a conspiracy, the problem with that is that nobody can talk you out of it. The only thing that can happen is people can confirm them. Because if you show articles, information, proof, facts, they'll question the source. They won't believe it. They'll just go deeper and deeper in that rabbit hole. So, place to vent. You say, what happened to the crowd you used to have back in BMF and Razor Canaan? That's because people only like to come and watch majority of me talking about those things. And if I ain't talking about those things when they ain't on, then a lot of people don't show up. So, and also what you saying is true. It's a combination of both. But the shadow ban happened years ago. That happened like around 2020. So, but yeah, man, unfortunately, a lot of people, they like to only watch certain things for certain reasons. And if you're not talking about that, they ain't interested. They ain't watching, whatever the case may be. So it is what it is, man. I guess they be like, I guess you can go away until we need you again, or watch this show or whatever. So anyway, it's all good, man. It's all good. I ain't it's ways that I could try to, do a lot more, but the way that YouTube is set up now is that it's a lot of work and hours to just get a little ahead, and the situation I'm in. And it also costs money now to a little bit to make this stuff um work, whereas before it wasn't as intensive. But I just can't do 12-hour days or that often. So anyway, it's all good. So basically, don't go to jail and let doctors inject you. Let's see. This case was filed September 4th, and the U.S. District Court of Columbia. And it says this Texas man was sentenced to prison for assaulting officers during the attack. And after being pardoned, he was rearrested on the 2016 charge of soliciting a minor. Wow. Now, it says, according to the 30-page complaint, Taki, that's his name, now alleges that he began noticing physical changes shortly after medical staff at a federal facility gave him what he thought were standard treatments. He claims prison's officials never told him the injections contained estrogen or other female hormones. Over time, he says he experienced breast development, testicular shrinkage, and other feminizing effects. The lawsuit describes these changes as a violation of his constitutional rights, calling it forced medical experimentation on a captive population. What? I got to read the rest of this one because if they did do something to him, I'm gonna be amazed. It said that he had a pre-existing medical condition, hypogonadism, a condition characterized by severely low testosterone levels. So he was a broad anyway. Say, according to his federal lawsuit in September 2025, the docs diagnosed his hypogonadism. Gandhiism. You know, I ain't got it right. It's a hypogonadism. He got hypogonads. Gonad. As early as 2016. His prescribed treatment involved weekly testosterone injections. However, the lawsuit alleges that while incarcerated, doctors administered him estrogen injections instead. How does he know? Which contradicted his prescribed treatment and led to unintended physical changes. He noticed when he had to get a size D for his titties. You know what, girls? Hey, guys. Do you notice anything different about me? They're like, no, but them titties look pretty good. They treat me like a piece of meat in here. Give me them big ass titties. Hey, you ain't got no nuts no more either? Oh, yeah, you mine. I hope you don't get no parole, baby. He said they gave him estrogen. I really do want to know how he know. I hope it ain't that he noticed titties and that's when he realized it was a problem. He said he had never consented to gender affirming care or hormone therapy. Instead, he argued. So what he's saying, Joe Biden and them did this? Joe Biden wanted to make all the J6ers gay. He argues that prison doctors ignored his concerns and failed to provide proper medical explanations. The complaint alleges that the Bureau of Prisons and its director acted with negligence and deliberate indifference, subjecting Taki to cruel and unusual punishment in violation of the Eighth Amendment. Lawsuit goes further, linking the alleged injections to emotional and physiological stress. Plaintiff slowly became a woman in prison without his knowledge or consent. Wait a minute. Without his consent is one thing. Without his knowledge, how you slowly become a woman in prison and you ain't knowing this? Your nuts is just opening up into a cootie cat. I never noticed. I didn't know how the body worked, okay? I thought I was turned into a butterfly, okay? I had no idea. You got big old titties. You just can't keep your hands off yourself, and you ain't noticed. You ain't noticed you be in the mirror like, stop that. I get the consent, but if you didn't notice, you deserve to stay there. Because if I had some big ass titties, trust me, when I grew my man titties against my will and consent, I noticed. Believe me, I noticed. It wasn't against it. It was against my will, and I didn't consent to it. But believe me, I noticed. I didn't notice right away, though. I will admit they grew up. They snuck up on me, but I caught on fast enough. Believe me. I said, "What the hell?" He want unspecified damages and medical relief to halt the hormonal changes. Oh man. All right. They get more into how he got arrested and this and that. But anyway, some of the things that people can say and do is really shocking to me sometimes. I guess, that's one of the problems with this country is that it's a good thing, but it's been overdone by bad lawyers because they don't know how to do a good job, or because so many attorneys graduate from school every year. You all got so many new ones that they outnumber those that retire. So they got to come up with ways to make money to pay those loans. So, long story short, the bad thing is it's a lot of lawsuits in America, frivolous lawsuits, and a lot of people settle out of court because it's cheaper to settle out of court than to pay an attorney and fight it. But also, when you settle out of court, people that don't really know better automatically think you're guilty, which is the majority of people, because majority of people don't know how some of this stuff works. But anyway, because you could go back and forth, and then if you win, they pay your attorney fees. So you could do that, but could be more problems than it's worth sometimes. Anyway, moving on. Let's see what else we talk about right quick before we get up out of here. Let's see some stuff about the doctor. Oh man, Robert Redford passed. Yeah, that was kind of messed up. What y'all think about Tom Brady trying to play flag football in Saudi Arabia? Saudi Arabia just buying up everybody's stuff, didn't he? That's just wild. LeBron James got shoes he dropped. Now this right here, this video is funny. Let's see. This this right here. So these women sitting here and somebody run up on them trying to be funny. And this is the definition of having a ride or die right here with you right here. Because her partner get up and she ain't playing. She is not playing. Look at this. He run up on her. Oh, and start to... Hold on. She done picked up the bottle. Wow. So he walk up and just like blow a kiss at her hair. And she talk about, why would you do that? Why would you do that? And her partner just took that bottle slowly, calmly, walked around so didn't attract no attention, and bust his head to the white meat. That's the thing, man. When these memes and things first came out and everybody was trying to make videos to go internet famous and stuff, some of this stuff was funny and all of that. But the way things are, man, like them dudes used to run and pull black dudes' pants down when they were sagging and stuff. You get killed these days, man. Shot, beat, all kind of stuff. Bust the bottle on your head. People are wild, man, and people don't value each other these days. Just for real, man. And it's just life is cheap to a lot of people nowadays, and I don't know, man. I don't think it's funny, but if I wouldn't do it. It's too risky. So anyway, speaking of risky, this video right here, it showed these dudes, these gunmen, they walk in calm and they end up executing the dude in the hospital. Now this caption say they left even calmer. They didn't leave even calmer, but they did leave pretty calm, but they wasn't necessarily that damn calm as they walked in. They walking in slow, calm. He over here cocking it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dudes. You got 5 dudes coming into your hospital room to get you. They fighting to get a shot in on you. And this is in India. Now he running. They running though. They wasn't walking away calmly. Here come the last. Here come the last dude. He walked away calm, and he was the last one. He didn't know everybody else ran. Oh, they all walk away calm. I walk away calm. Next thing you know, he turned the corner. They was gone, and he got right. He had him a damn slumdog experience. Anyway, these dudes, man, out here is wild, man. People out here are wild, and the way things is going with the economy, different stuff. Woo-wee. Gotta be careful out here, boy. Now, this right here, I'm gonna just let y'all see this video, and you all be the judge right here. This one, I'll talk about it after.
And she bought these shoes, and her refrigerator looked like this. That's why I'm fucking. You don't know, and I gotta get out your house because I be hungry.
So look,
stupid ass bitch gonna ask me why I'm leaving, and she bought these shoes, and her refrigerator looked like this. That's why I'm fucking. You don't know, and I got.
So that's the thing, man. A lot of these young people out here, they priorities all messed up. They look good and they got the look and everything, but they ain't got no substance. You come in the crib, she got the new shoes on and got her nails and all that done, but the refrigerator completely empty. Like it's an accessory in the house. What's that? That's a refrigerator, but we don't never use it though. Why not? Because we always go out to eat. Because somebody always bring me something from DoorDash. Like, damn, she didn't even have leftover DoorDash in the damn refrigerator. So, definitely ain't riding with that. And what's crazy is a lot of women would expect a dude to go fill up her refrigerator then. I mean, if I'm about to do all that, then I'm about to eat the meals. I'm about to stay for a minute. I don't know. It's a lot going on these days and stuff. So you got to be careful, man. This is my last little video. I'm going to talk about, I think I already talked about this one too. Hold on. But it was about how they was testifying about the UFO or whatever. And they shot a missile at it. It bounced off. Yeah, man. That's wild. Instead, I'll talk about here's what I've been trying to find the dang on stuff I saved. So here's one that was kind of wild. So this dude is a pro-Trump rapper. Of course, he's a wigger, a little wiggy, but he made a song about pro-lynching. Hang him up high at sundown. Wait a minute. What? Hang him up high at sundown. This dude made a pro-lynching rap, really? And what's so messed up is that it was some African-American men found lynched in Missouri just recently, I think last week. And so it was Missouri or Mississippi, one of those. But man, we had it for some dark times, y'all, when people can make songs like this out in public and I don't even you wasn't afraid. Not that you should be afraid somebody gonna do it, just afraid of the backlash, afraid that you making a mistake, and then that you would get supported enough that it could be successful and make money. That's even worse. That's horrible. But then let somebody say something about their boy Charlie, and they ready to go wild, cancel. They want to fire Jimmy Kimmel. They got Jimmy Kimmel suspended for what? If you all look at what he actually said, is pathetic. He actually didn't even say nothing. He played a clip of Trump saying something. When they asked how he was holding up, he like, I'm holding up fine. Matter of fact, see the trucks, they built a new ballroom. Like he wasn't thinking nothing about old boy. And so it's just wild, man, the hypocrisy going on and things is happening, and got to be careful out here, man, in these streets, y'all, because the one thing that may be positive is at least some people could be upfront with they bad ideas, and then you know who you're dealing with. But the problem is there's a lot of bad ideas available So you realize you're dealing with a lot of bad idea holders anyway, to say the least. I'm gonna wrap it up there, y'all. Yesterday was my birthday. I'm getting up there in age, y'all. It looked like my eyes are barely open right here when I was just looking at this. Anyway, I appreciate all the support, everybody rocking with me for these years on YouTube, even when I'm not doing a Power or BMF or whatever show, which I appreciate. You know, it's not necessarily like I'm making money or this or that. Just, man, you know, it's good to have the support, you know, from the real ones. So, y'all, I appreciate you for rocking and coming through tonight. All the support and place the vent. I appreciate you, man. I know it don't look good, but hey, man, that's life, right? Hopefully, I can make an app that I've been working on, make it, you know, make it work and be positive and profitable, and can reinvest back into all of this and make things happen. Hell, maybe have me a talk show or something. Because it look like nowadays, if you don't self-finance or self-produce, it's going to probably be next to impossible to get stuff done. So, you know, it is what it is. Anyway, let me get up out of here, man. My dang on wisdom tooth, man. Oh, my goodness gracious. Oh, it makes my whole side of my face hurt and my throat. I'm going to have to get it pulled. Anyway, y'all, let me get up out of here. I'm going to see y'all on the next one. Deuces. Y'all be safe.